first question, the first important question from the first unit is describe the output of the various phases of compiler with respect to the following statement. The first question is describe output for the various phases of compiler with respect to the following statement. Position is equal to okay, the position equal to the expression statement. Okay, let it be here. In the examination you may get position, that means position is nothing but a variable equal to initial plus rate into 60. These three words can be modified. I am continuing with a different expression of same type. Let it be x is equal to a into 60, and hope you will convert that whatever I am explaining you now. You will convert. You replace the whatever I shown on the left hand side of the expression with the position, on the right hand side with the initial plus rate. Okay. This PPT is with reference to what you need to write in the examination. Be careful. The previous whatever I explained you in the general form. Now in specifically, I am now sharing the PPTs with reference to the first mid examination. Okay. You need to write whatever we are sharing now here. Even you can cut down one or two couple of statements. Okay. If you are having any doubt with reference to the first mid portion or the first mid examination, or with reference to this particular topic, you type in the chat box. Okay. So the first question is based on the phases of compiler, that too with reference to a example expression. We need to write now output, what is going to be the output for this particular expression during the various phases of the compiler. Okay. In the last classes, we identified what is the meaning of phases of compiler, what it do in each and every phase. Once again, in brief, I will explaining you what is the meaning of phases of a compiler. We identified the phases of compiler is basically divided into two parts: analysis part and the synthesis part. The phase and also the phase is nothing but a sequence of statements or steps. A phase is nothing but a sequence of statements or steps that takes source program in one representation and generate codes in another representation. Okay. So the compiler operates in phases. We also identified in the last classes what is the meaning of single phase compiler, what is the meaning of multi-phase compilers, what is the advantages in how we are performing the optimization during the different phases. Okay, right. So the only thing is the compiler operates in phases. Otherwise, a little bit may be difficult to generate the target code directly. Okay, so in order to optimize our conversion, we are using phases of the compiler. Okay, so the phases are analysis part and the synthesis part. What is the analysis part? We identified it is the front end of the compiler, which is containing the lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis. Okay, and also a part which is between front end and back end is intermediate code. Okay, right. So what we are performing in the analysis part? In the analysis part, we are breaking the source program into small pieces and converting those small pieces into intermediate representation of the source code. Okay, right. So analysis part also collecting information about the source program and stores data in a data structure called as symbol table. Okay, so analysis part is including three phases of the compiler. It is called lexical analysis, syntax analysis, and semantic analyzer. After performing the semantics of the program, semantic analysis of the program, after representing it to the intermediate source code, we are starting with the synthesis part. The synthesis part decide converting the output from the semantic analyzer or from the intermediate code directly into the target form. Okay, we're using the intermediate and information in the symbol tables. Okay. So synthesis part includes three phases of the compiler: intermediate code generation, code optimization, code generation. Okay. Till now we covered the syllabus also till the intermediate code generation. Lab syllabus from 15th, maybe after 15th. After the lab syllabus, labs will be will show you after 15th. Maybe 3-4 classes because we are having the enough classes. Based on the our requirement, either I will finish this revision of this 2.5 units, or after 15th I will start the lab experiments. So we need to cover 6 lab experiments in the first phase. Okay, there is nothing like timetable. Our online classes itself, I will show you the lab experiments. Okay, right, but it is after 15th. Before that, I will tell you, I will share with you the lab experiment and how to execute. Then I will explain you in the next class. Okay, right. So synthesis part, it is including the code generation, optimization. Okay. Finally, the intermediate code generator is acting as interface between analysis and synthesis. Finally, intermediate code is acting as interface between analysis and synthesis. Now come to the answer to our question. Okay. So what is the meaning of lexical analysis? The lexical analysis is the first phase of the compiler. Lexical analyzer is also known as a scanner. Lexical analyzer reads the stream of characters from left to right and groups the characters into meaningful sequences called as lexemes. As part of the examination, this much is sufficient. Here, for the explanation, I am giving you what is the role of lexical analyzer also. It produces the tokens, ignores or white spaces in a source code, ignores comments in the source code. Be careful, this particular thing. These will be as part of our first lab experiments also. Okay, in order to create a program for the lexical analyzer, what we are doing, first of all, the lexical analyzer is producing tokens. It ignoring all white spaces because white space is only for separation between the two keywords. We ignore the so white spaces in the source code. It also ignores comments in the source code. Finally, it generates the token in the form token name attribute values. Token name attribute value, where token name is the abstract symbol that is used during the next phase. That means the syntax analysis of the compiler, where attribute value point to the entry in the symbol table. Attribute values point to the entry in the symbol table. Okay, right. What is our question? With reference to this particular expression, position is equal to initial plus date into 60. For each and every phase, we need to generate output. Okay. So here we are taking a small expression instead of position. Here it is a result. Instead of position, it is result. Okay. Whereas similarly, initial and rate, we are showing it as number 1 and number 2. Instead of 60, it is 50. Okay. That is the only difference. You can truly replace these keywords with that keywords, right? What it doing? What is the output? Here the question is output. What is the output we need to it is perform? After lexical analyzer, the above statement should be identified. The result number 1, number 2, and this finally this 50 as identified as ID. Okay, and it is number. So ID 1, ID 2, ID 3. Okay, result is replaced with the type of ID, and it is the entry attribute is showing as 1. Attribute is showing as 1. Okay, because what is the combination it is we are showing? Token name comma attribute value. Token name comma attribute value. So the output is simply so ID. These are nothing but ID. Okay, identify nothing but identifiers. Identifier 1, identifier 2, identifier 3 joined with operator plus and multiplier. Okay, then it is a constant value, nothing but number. In the grammar also we identifying using the IDs and number previously wherever we defined. Okay, right. So in this presentation, the token names are plus that multiplication are the abstract symbols for the assignments, additions, multiplications, respectively. Okay, the output whatever we may identify as the we can use system.out.println statement. Okay, so for example, if this is the statement, we are going to identify system. Okay, dot out. This is our keywords are identifiers. Println as another one. Even the braces also we are identifying as operators. Then we are having the compiler design is a small string, finally terminated with the semicolon. Finally terminated with the semicolon. Okay, right. So here there, whatever we are representing the result number one, number two are nothing but as part of ID and ID1, ID2, ID3. Be careful. That is the representation with the broad form. We are identifying what these are. Okay, right. In the next phase, what is the thing here? Syntax analyzer. In the syntax analyzer, what it do? Here we are identifying whatever the expression it is in the form of ID. Finally, the ID with the attribute value we are replacing. Be careful. Okay, basically it is IDs. Okay, when come to the syntax analyzer, for each and every ID, we need to show in the syntax direction tree the numbers directly we can show. Numbers we can directly show. From the previous lexical analyzer, what we received? ID1, ID2, ID3, and number we received. Okay. So syntax analyzer is the second phase of the compiler. It is also known as parser. Okay. This we can call this as syntax tree or parse tree, or also we are calling it as hierarchical analysis, hierarchical tree. So the parser collects all the sufficient tokens generated by the lexical analyzer as its input and generates parse tree as output. Okay. So the parser, what is the duty of the parser? Parser is checking the source code, whether it is syntactically correct or not. Here the meaning of the source code is, okay, here we are not checking the meaning of the source code, but we are identifying syntactically it is connected rightly or not. Okay, right, only the tree. The role of the syntax analyzer is to check syntax errors in the source program. So what is the output from the previous stage? In the previous stage, we identified ID1, ID2, ID3 and number. We are connecting using those ID1, ID2, ID3 and number with the given operator symbols, with the given operator symbol, assignment operator, plus operator, multiplication operator. Okay. So the previous the expression is ID equal to now ID1 equal to ID2 plus ID3 into 50, where ID1, ID2, ID3 and 50 are external nodes, and plus assignment plus multiplication are internal nodes. Okay, so output of the syntax analyzer is this that values passed from the previous phase lexical analyzer. Then semantic analysis. What do in the semantic analysis? It is identifying the meaning of this ID1, ID2, ID3. If it is required, any internal type checkings or conversions, it will perform. Okay, finally checks the meaning of the expression is correct. Okay, otherwise internally it will take care so that it may not generate external errors. Okay, while executing the program, right. The semantic analyzer, what it is doing, semantic analyzer takes the parse tree from the previous phase as input and construct meaningful parse tree as output. The semantic analyzer uses parse tree and the information in the symbol table, because the symbol table it is containing the all semantic rules. Based on the semantic rules, it checks the source program for meaning of the particular statement. So what is the role of the semantic analyzer? It checks the meaning of the source program. It checks the meaning of the source program. Uh, okay. Then it constructs the syntax tree. Okay. After verifying the semantics, a meaningful syntax tree. Then it is showing the directed acyclic graphs, identifies whether everything is connected in a systematic by removing unnecessary things. Okay, that we are going to learn in the next phases. Okay, saves the information in the symbol table. It also do the type checking. If necessary, it is also doing the type conversion. Then finally, it performs the evaluation of the expression and checks the variable is declared or not. Okay, and checks variable is declared or not. Okay, so what it is doing if necessary, for example, the 50 is a number. If the ID1, ID2, ID3 are okay, if the variables ID1, ID2, ID3 are variables and of float type, it also converts this 50 into, it also converts the variable, the number 50 into float type. Okay, right. Then after this semantic analysis, now we are coming into the intermediate code generation. So the previous three phases, what it is performed, the lexical analysis and syntax analysis, and finally the semantic analysis. It is verified the tokens are declared or not, having the right meaning or not, connected with the right structure or not. Okay, then it is converting those particular statement into into three address code. Okay, or triplets or quadruple. Okay, but only thing is in intermediate representation, so that it can be easily converted into, it can be easily converted into uh, final code easily by the compiler or by the CPU. Okay, right. So in the intermediate code form, what it is doing, it need to convert the given code into intermediate form. So intermediate code is nothing but, okay, is a interface. First of all, the intermediate code generation is a interface between front end and back end of the compiler. Okay, analysis phase and synthesis phase. The intermediate code generation takes parse as input from the semantic analysis and constructs one or more intermediate representation, which can have variety of forms, that the forms we identified earlier. Okay. Now here we are using three address code. The role of intermediate code generation is it constructs intermediate representation of the source program, saves information in the symbol table and collects required information from the symbol table. Even here we can use intermediate temporary variables. Intermediate representation should have two important properties. It should be easy to produce. Intermediate representation, whatever we are using, should have two important properties. In what form we need to convert, it should be easy to produce by the machine. Okay, it should be easy to translate to the target machine. It should be easily translate to the target machine. Okay, first of all, it should be easily produced, then it should be easily translated into the target machine, because the same program we are going to execute on different machines, CPUs. Okay, different CPUs, right? So, for example, the previously we are having this particular expression. First, we are starting from the bottom to the top. First, we are identifying the 50, then ID3, ID2, ID1. We are representing those things. First of all, what we are doing is from the previous one, we converted 50 into from integer to float type, because maybe the ID1, ID2, ID3 are float data types. So the T1 is equal to integer to float 50. Here exactly we are having the two operand T1 and 50 only. Remaining is operators. Okay. Then next is T2. We are converting whatever we are getting from the T1 into T2 form. Okay. this particular we are using in identifying the second operation. Okay, we converted this using this and this. We are doing this operation. Okay, that will be done by T2 is equal to ID3 into T1. Then we got a T2 operation from the result. From this T2 and this operation, we are creating one more output. Okay, so T3 is nothing but ID2 plus T2. So finally, we are getting this result. Then we can use this result with the ID1. ID1 plus the ID is equal to this one is equal to our result. Okay. So finally, T3 we can identify ID2 plus yeah, this one. Okay. Uh, so this T1, T2, T3 are automatically we are converting. From it we are getting the T1. Okay. By using this one we are getting the T2. From it we are identifying the T3. Hello. Okay. We are getting the T3. So what we are doing performing here, from it by adding these two we are getting the T2. By adding these two we are getting the T3. Okay. So finally you may get one more operation also directly, or T4 is equal to T3. Okay. T ID1. నమస్తే సార్ అయిపోయింది సార్ అది రావట్లేదు, నెట్ రావట్లేదు. ఆన్ చేశాను, చేసిన ఎందుకో రాలేదు. అది పెట్టాను, నాకు ఫోన్ తోటి కనెక్ట్ అయ్యా. అక్కడ మళ్ళీ ప్రెస్ చేయాలా? అయ్యో ఒకసారి సెకండ్ అవర్ 10 to 11 11 క్లాస్లోనే ఉన్నా. ఒకసారి ఆపనా? రైట్ రైట్. Okay. So from this particular operation, we are getting the T1. After joining these two, we are getting the T2. After doing this press operation, we are getting the T3. Okay. And we are T1, T2, T3. Okay. From T3, we can join T1, T2, T3. Okay. The T3 is joined with the ID1, and we are getting the one more variable T4. Okay. Right. So T1, T2, T3, and T4 are the required temporary variables. Okay, whatever we are getting from this particular previous operations. Okay, right. Right. Next. So after getting the values, the finally we can identify the what are the values in the T3 into the total or the required variable. I given these values in the previous slide. itself. Okay. Next, when come to the code optimization, it is a optional phase of the compiler, but it increases the speed of the particular operation. The process of reducing the number of instructions without changing the meaning of source program is known as code optimization. We are going to learn this in the next module 4. Okay, next module 4. Right. So the process of reducing the number of instructions without the changing the meaning of source program is called as code optimization. Code optimization takes intermediate code as input and generates the optimization code. Okay. For example, in the previously we are having that now hope the screen is once again visible to you. So what is this optimization is doing? Optimization reducing the conversion of reducing the conversion of 50 from integer to the floating point can be done once and for all at the compile time, so that integer to float operation can be eliminated by the integer by the floating point number 50. That wherever possible, we can convert those particular things directly. Previously, this step is indicated in the 2 steps. Now it is converted into the single step. That is the meaning of code optimization. Basically, that operations whatever we are performing, converting this into the one step. This is the other step, including the ID2 is the third step. Okay. Finally, getting the before getting the ID1, we may get the result into on the temporary variable T4. Then the T4 can be assigned to the T1. We can perform. But here in the code optimization, we combine these 2 statements into the single statement. Similarly, even we can eliminate, we can combine these 2 into the single statement. That will perform by the code optimization. So the code optimization directly can identify the multiplication operation with the help of only single temporary variable, and assigning this result with ID2 and having the result. Previously we represented the 2 steps that can be now performed into the single step, that can be performed now into the single step. This optimization can reduce the conversion of the 50 from integer to the floating. Okay, that is one task. Then we are having the other step is the code generation. The code generation is the final phase of the compiler. The code generator takes intermediate or code optimization, optimize intermediate code. The code generator takes intermediate or optimize intermediate code and required information in the symbol table as input and maps into the target code. In here, the target code means the code equivalent to the CPU instructions. If the output of the code generation is a machine code, okay, the registers or memory locations are selected from each of the variables used by the program. Okay, be careful here. It is in the 5th unit. Okay, here we are seeing the outlines. In the here, what it is doing, output of the code generator is machine code. Be careful. In the machine code means it contains the every CPU is containing registers or memory locations are selected for each variable used by the program. Okay, each program. Then right. Okay, just wait for the attendance. Okay, we are going to close everything. Right. The machine code instructions are translated into sequence of machine instructions. Every machine instruction means here LDF means load that particular file, load ID3 into the register R2. LDF is an instruction in some microprocessor. It is indicating load ID3 into register R2. Similarly, we need to perform another operation. We need to save the 50 in another register. Then you may multiply this value with the previous value in the R2 and storing the result in the R2. Multiply the value of R2 with 50 and store result in R2. Okay. Similarly, once again load ID2 into R1, performing operations between R1 and R2, saving result in R1. Finally, we are moving R1 into ID1. Okay. So ID1, ID2, ID3 are same memory locations. Finally, we are storing the result into ID1. Okay. This is the meaning of code generation. Similarly, we identified what is the meaning of symbol table. It is not necessary to write in the examination, but once again, as a part of the revision, okay, the symbol table is nothing but an essential function of the compiler to record the variable names used in the source program and collect information about various attributes of each name. Attributes may be name, its types, its size, its memory location, its scope, represented by various scope rules, semantic rules. Okay. Okay, it calls out the procedure name such as number, type of its arguments, method of passing for each argument. The symbol table is a data structure contained in a record for each variable. The data structures allows the compiler to find the record quickly and to store or receive the data from the record. Example is here translation of result is equal to number 1 plus number 2 into 50. Okay, the phases of the statement are each phase can be encountered errors. The lexical analyzer can encounter lexical errors. Syntax analyzer can encounter syntax errors. Semantic analyzer can encounter semantic errors. Okay. In the error detection and handling phase, what we are doing in the compilation, each phase detects errors. These errors must be reported to error handler, whose task is to handle the errors so that compilation can proceed. The errors are reported in the form of message when the input characters for input do not form the tokens. The lexical analyzer detects it as error. The lexical analyzer detects it's an error. Semantic analysis phase, a type mismatch kind of error is usually detected. Okay. Once again, the overall figure of this particular various phases of the compiler is this one. Okay, lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, code generation. Okay, in parallel with these all 6 phases, we are having the simple table manager or handler handler.